The running back room, as it currently stands, is one of the least diverse in the league. And that's why for the last 2 seasons, I've been talking about getting a running back in here that can complement your room. Zeke doesn't necessarily do that, but what Zeke does bring in here is a resume that nobody has on this roster, not even combined, right? And you could argue, not even argue, he also brings in something that they didn't do well last year, and that will score within the goal line and bring that power presence. But here's my issue with it. It's very redundant. You just signed Royce Freeman last week. Now, in a vacuum, you say Royce Freeman and Ezekiel Elliott, you scoff at that. But when you look at who they are right now, it's a very redundant signing. This reeks of an emotional nostalgia. I love you, Zeke. You know, we drafted you. You're my guy. What's our guy Marv say? Favorites. It reeks of that, right? On one end. On the other end, Zeke for the rest of the offseason, Zeke in the summer camp. He's going to be an amazing leader in that room. He's going to be a guy that's going to help out these young guys. Deuce Vaughn didn't have necessarily a Zeke last year, although TP was around for a while as well. But Zeke obviously was around longer with different type of success. If they go out and they make an additional move at the position, then Zeke can be a compliment to said person. But I think no matter how much you love the guy, no matter how much nostalgia there is, you can't possibly be going to this thing thinking it is okay if he is RB1, lead back, getting 250 carries in the season at this point in his career. If that is the thought process, I have no idea what the hell the Cowboys are thinking. If the thought process is, hey man, we needed a veteran in here, we needed a goal line guy in here, he's a guy that could be a part of a committee, honestly, I have no problem with it. But they have to complete the committee. They've yet to do that. Jerry Jones came out and he said, yo, I love Zeke. I love what he's done the last number of games in New England. Stephen Jones said he's one of our favorites. I hated to hear that because, like, you don't sign guys because they're your favorites. You sign guys because they can help you lift the Lombardi trophy, right? And if they truly believe that, fine. But don't tell me hey, he's our favorite guy. But Jerry said, man, he plays so great at the end of the season. I wonder if somebody told him that and he didn't. Jerry ain't watching film. But if you go and you watch, you're like, no, he did not. Now you could say, well, he was on a bad team. Fair enough. Average 2.9 yards per carry the last 5 games, 1 touchdown and 200 yards on the ground. I wouldn't say that's an amazing finish. And the film backs it up too. It's not just like, oh, well, he had one horrible game that knocked it all down. No, that was pretty consistent when he took over full-time duty. And even before that, it wasn't like it was some amazing year. So the thought process should be you're bringing him in here to play a role. You're not bringing him in here to be the lead back. That should be long gone. Here's a problem, though. Your room isn't inspiring. Well, Sky, we need to run the ball better in the playoffs. Absolutely right. Y'all know how I feel about that. I don't like to be one-dimensional into playoffs. My thought process is get better up front, which we'll get to in a second, and get better with the how. The problem if you're relying on Ezekiel Elliott being the guy to get you over the hump in the playoffs is that he hasn't been good in the playoffs. We brought this up a while ago after the Green Bay Packers game. And it was mostly about how the running game collectively has not been, not even good, not even average. It's been terrible. Oh, Zeke is a part of that. In his last 4 playoff games, he's averaged 2.4 yards per carry with 1 touchdown. He has 2 total touchdowns in 6 career postseason games. So we can't look at him as a guy that's going to get us over the hump in the playoffs, okay? Can't do it. Won't do it. I won't. Y'all can. That's never been his game. A lot of factors can be brought into that, but depending on who the player is, certain fans will completely ignore this type of thing and ignore context with other players as well. The context with the run game, to me, number one, Ezekiel Elliott, towards the end of the season, worn down. Always banged up, worn down. Run game process, not great. Run blocking, some years it was good, but sometimes you get banged up in the playoffs. Zeke just never has been his best in the playoffs since 2018. Could that change in year 9? Maybe, if you get to the playoffs and he's not worn down. Hence, do not allow him to be a lead back. So, there it is. Ezekiel Elliott is back. We will see what that means moving forward. 1 year, $2 million deal, guaranteed. So it's not, here's the funny part. It's not a lot of money, but it's the most money in that room. So you just hope, you just hope politics don't come and play into this thing. That's all I'm saying.